Hello everyone, it's Mary with Stampin' in the Sand, and welcome to my third and final Party Pandas Live at 5 class series. Next week we will begin afresh with a different stamp set. We'll bring highlight to a different set from the New Occasions catalog. But for this week we've been focusing on the Party Pandas stamp set. So actually, the end of last week, this is the card that we had created. We created this fun Valentine card. And Tuesday, we created this super cute Party Pandas gift card holder, gift card check money holder. This was a super fun class. And today, we are going to make this really cute Party Pandas note card. This uses Stampin' Up's new narrow note cards from the Occasions catalog. And this little guy is sporting his hot pink balloon. And we've created a coordinating envelope from our coordinating designer series paper. And I'm going to show you how we can do that in class today. So why don't we take a look here at the products we're going to be using today. So Celebration is in full swing in Stampin' Up! Land. And with this brochure is chock full of different products that you can earn for free when you place an order of $50 or more in my online store. So for each $50 increment, you can select something for free that's marked with this $50 bullseye right here. And in addition, towards the back of the book, there are some that are featured with a $100 purchase, and these are either extra large stamp sets, or there's even some dies that you can earn for free with a qualifying $100 order. So let's look at what we're going to use today. So today, our card will feature the Bubbles and Fizz Designer Series paper. If you have a Celebration brochure, you will find that on page 13. And we're also going to be using the Party Panda stamp set. That's on page 15. It comes in wood mount and clear mount. If you're not familiar with Stampin' Up! Stamps and our different mounting options, these are our wood mount stamps. They come with the wood blocks included, so you just pop out your die cut rubber images and attach them to your wood blocks with their coordinating sticker so that you know which block contains which stamp. And they come in these wonderful shelf-ready cases. And our clear mount stamps, they come in a narrower case because they do not have a block included. They're cling mount stamps, and you will need a clear block from our annual catalog to use these stamps with. So the easiest way for me to tell my customers how to remember these are wood mount, come with the wood blocks included. Clear mount are for clinging to our clear blocks. Hi Christina, hi Sandy, I'm so glad you could join me today. So those are the stamps that we're going to be using and the designer series paper. Now, if you're new to my Live at 5, I have a hostess code for my Live at 5s. Each week there's a new code. This week's hostess code is right here. You can grab a screenshot or you can come back and refer to it later. And what that's for is for every qualifying order that you place in my online store using this hostess code, it tells me that you're tuned in to that week's Live at 5 class series, and you will receive the supplies to make that week's projects. So any orders placed in my online store this week using this hostess code, which expires Monday, February 12th at 11:59 p.m. before we launch into Tuesday's Live at 5 series, will receive the supplies to make these two cards. Now, through Stampin' Up! Policy, I am not allowed to send stamped images. So you will receive all of the cardstock, all of the designer series paper, any pre-cut die cuts that are required to assemble the cards. However, you will need to stamp your own Party Pandas and your own greetings. So let's get started with today's card. Let me just clean off the table here. and we will get started, and I'll show you what you're going to need for today's class. So for today, you are going to need one of our narrow white note cards. Again, those are found in our Occasions catalog. You're going to need a scrap piece of Whisper White. That's going to be large enough for stamping your panda. And speaking of which, I guess I should bring him back in so I can remember what we're doing. You're also going to need some cardstock. So we're going to need a piece of designer series paper that measures 2 inches by 4 inches. That's going to be for our card front. For mounting our card front, you're going to need a piece of coordinating cardstock that is 1/4 inch larger all around. So 2 1/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches. That's just going to be for mounting our designer series paper onto. You're going to need another scrap of the same color cardstock, and that's going to be for punching out our balloon. Back to the designer series paper for our envelope. You're going to need a 3 inch by 5 1/2 inch piece and a 4 1/4 by 6 3/4 inch piece. And those are for die cutting our envelope pieces. Next, you are going to need the box framelit, and that's from the Lots to Love box framelits dies. Now these dies are made to coordinate with a stamp set, but you can purchase them individually. If you buy the coordinating stamp set and the dies together, you will save 10% on each item. However, you can just buy the framelits by themselves. So you're going to need the box die from that one. We're also going to need our balloon punch. That's in the annual catalog. Some black ink. I like our archival black ink. If you've been watching my series, you know that I prefer the archival black ink for stamping my pandas because of how much black there is in this image. And I find that I get a much richer black with this ink than I do, say, the Memento black. We're also going to need our stitched oval and some dimensionals and some strong adhesive. Today I'm going to be using our tear and tape, and that'll be for adhering my envelope together. And let me see, we also need some markers from the Brights collection and the Subtles. I have my Bermuda Bay, Daffodil Delight, Calypso Coral, and then from the neutrals I have Basic Black. Now the Basic Black is just in case when I stamp my panda, if there's some faded areas that maybe didn't get as good ink coverage, I can come in with my marker and just fill that in and make it a little bit darker and richer without having to restamp my image or start over. And also, if you can see here on my balloon, I have my little reflection, so to speak, here drawn on. And for that, I'm going to use the Stampin' Up! Chalk marker. So we have that. Okay, so for today, I'm going to use my wood mount panda. And I'm going to stamp my panda first because I'm going to give him an opportunity to dry a little bit before I cut him out. So I'm going to grab a scrap paper just so I don't make a mess on my stamping surface here and end up picking up some black ink where I don't want it. So I'll open up my ink pad, and it doesn't matter if I get the whole entire image because I'm not even going to be cutting the whole image. I just really want to focus on my panda. So I'm going to ink him up, make sure I have him inked up really good. And I'm going to stamp him on the center. Take care of this before I get my finger in it. Okay, and then I'll put him aside to dry and we can do some other things. So see how I got a really rich black image from that panda by using that archival ink? That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so now we'll come in with our scrap, and I'm going to take my balloon punch, and I'm just going to punch one of the small balloons. and watch the little bits fly. So now I have my balloon. And I'm going to come in with my chalk marker and draw on my little reflection. And color that in. And coloring is always easier said than done underneath a microscope, let me tell you. Okay, so now I'm done with that. I'll put that aside to dry because we don't want to smudge the chalk. We'll give that a moment to dry. So let's do some die cutting. Push all this aside for right now. I don't need this until I cut my panda. And I'm going to bring in my Big Shot, and I'm going to hope that I don't knock you guys. All right, let me get my Big Shot over here. Hold on. I'm using my phone here, and I had to plug it in, and the cord is almost in a precarious position. Okay, so let me see if I've got you in. Sorry, I didn't mean to bounce you. I just want to get you in the screen. And that's easier said than done here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to take our smaller piece. This is the 3" by 5.5. I'm going to lay my die cut side up, okay, instead of cut side down. And what I'm doing is being conservative with the use of my paper. And I've basically cut it so that it just fits right in here into the grooves for the cutting. Because really all I want is this score line right here. So I'm going to put another top plate on. I'm going to hold on tight to this, and I'm hoping, I've got a really tight machine, and I really don't want to send you guys bouncing everywhere. So the harder I hold on to the machine, the harder it is for me to die cut. But see, I'm whacking you guys. It's a tight fit over here. Okay, so now I have this piece, and it has the score line right here. And that's all I want, is I just want that score line. And then it went a little wide, so I'm just gonna come with my paper snip, and I'm just gonna cut that straight off like that, okay? So now I have my larger piece, and my larger piece, I'm going to put that with the die cut side down. Okay, you guys still there? Is anyone still there? I can't believe the phone just rang. I did put this on Do Not Disturb. I don't know who got through on Do Not Disturb. No one should be able to get through on Do Not Disturb. Sorry about that. All right, so now I'm going to fit this piece underneath my die, and I hope you guys are still there. It says I'm still live. So if anyone's there and wants to give me a shout. Oh, Christina, I'm still there? Good. That was really horrifying. I don't understand why when you put your phone on Do Not Disturb, somebody can get through and disturb you. Well, it's happened in to the best of demonstrators, so I'm just going to keep rolling. Okay, so now this is cut through. Oh, and now I see why someone was able to get through, because it says I'm missing that I have 3 new voicemails. So I guess the Do Not Disturb feature has something that if you have it on Do Not Disturb and someone calls you 3 times or something, they can break through the Do Not Disturb. Well, let's just hope it's not an emergency, right? Okay, so now I've cut my full box shape out of my die cut, okay? So now we have that. And then, okay, Christina, I do see your tip. I will do that for next time. Because I had asked my husband about airplane mode because he flies a lot, and he didn't think I could do airplane mode and the and be on Wi-Fi at the same time. But we're gonna try that next time because that was just not right. Okay, so all I'm doing now is I'm folding the edges on this die cut and I'm folding my flaps. But I'm gonna leave what would be your box top or your box bottom. I'm not going to score that. Hi, Tracy. How's the weather in Wisconsin? Are you freezing? Here in South Carolina, we actually had a decent day. So here, I'm just going to cut off now the flaps because we don't need those. We're making an envelope, not a box, so we can get rid of those. So those are gone. And then I'm going to come back with the piece that we had cut before, this longer piece, and I'm just going to do a couple of angle cuts down here at the bottom, okay, to get rid of that. So now we're going to assemble our envelope. So I'm going to come along and I'm going to get my tear and tape and I'm going to put it right along the base here and tear some of that off and get the backing off. And I'm going to lay this down inside here, making sure I have it even. Okay, so now we have a flap like this. Now you're going to fold in what would be your box sides. You're going to fold those in. And you're going to come along with your tear and tape and put that down. Hi, Tammy. I thought of you earlier as I'm standing here taping. I thought of you earlier because I was standing here in my craft room where my table is, where I am right now, getting set up for this live class, and a bald eagle flew by. And I thought of you. And I couldn't get a picture of him because I didn't have my camera ready. All right, so now we're just gonna try to grab the paper off of the tear and tape and lift and pull. And now I'm just going to fold these in. Actually, I'm going to do this one at a time. Fold this in. And it's not as easy to do from high up as it is to do, and I just taped it to the table. How do you like that? As it is to do sitting here by yourself. And then tuck this flap in. Okay, you following me so far? And then bring it to the edge. And now you have an envelope. So now all you have to do is fold over this top flap and you have your envelope enclosure, and you can either tie a little ribbon around the top, or you could die cut another balloon and put a dimensional on it so that it kind of overlaps, and then you could pull this out from under the envelope or put it under the balloon. You know what? I have an extra balloon. Why are we standing here talking about what you could do when we can just do it? Because I had that extra balloon. So this is what I'm talking about. You could take your balloon, fold over your flap, then take your balloon so the dimensional is just below the flap, and now you can catch and release. Isn't that cute? Look at it. Then you could tie a little string coming off of it. Oh, that would be so cute. Okay, so that's a project for another day. So here's our envelope. So we're gonna go back to our card. I'm gonna come back in with my Mr. Cranky here, my Big Shot, and my well-loved pad, who cracked in half, so I just taped him back together again. And we're gonna die cut our panda. So we'll get him so he's sitting in his little oval. Okay. I'm gonna crank him through. And there is absolutely nothing like doing Big Shot work on a table under a camera without trying to bounce everybody out the window. All right, so that's done. Okay, so now we can pop him out. So there's our panda. Bring this back in so anyone that's arriving late knows what we're doing. And now we can put our card together. So I have my narrow note card, I have my die cut panda, and I have my coordinating cardstock for behind my designer series paper, and I have my designer series paper. So we're gonna come in with some adhesive. And at this point, you can use fast fuse, you can use liquid glue, you can use the snail adhesive, you can use whatever adhesive you prefer. I happen to have my fast fuse here, so we're just gonna use that. And we're gonna get that on to the front of the card, and white on white without my glasses on is really hard to see. Okay, so now that's on there. Then we're gonna take Mr. Panda, who had been drying. And you know what? We're not using fast fuse on him. That was a good waste of 3 inches of fast fuse. We're using dimensionals on this guy. I'm getting ahead of myself. I was thinking I was putting him on a scalloped oval die cut or something. And I wasn't. He's just going on by himself. How silly. Okay. All right. Worse things have happened to me today. My vet called and said, "Thank you very much for leaving us your prepaid American Express card on the counter when you checked out today." I said, "Well, I'm glad that you guys found it and not the next person in line who might have been less honest than you." Because there was still almost $80 left on it. Okay, so now I've just taken our balloon that we punched earlier, and I'm going to put 1 dimensional on him. And I'm just going to slightly overlap so that it looks like it's on the string. And then I'm gonna come in with my black marker, and I'm just going to draw a little line above the knot so that it looks like it's actually tied on there. And you know what, Debbie? I can't get enough of these pandas either. I am addicted to the pandas, but I'm even more addicted to the narrow note cards. Okay, so here's our little panda. Now for the inside of my card, I have my little party panda here. I'm gonna use my fast fuse to hold that down. And this one is this little dancing panda right here. I call him Dancing Panda. I know, I'm so original. And I have him, and then I have my confetti, and then I have my happy birthday. And we're gonna come back in with the archival ink. And I'm gonna ink up my dancing panda as good as I can. Oh, Lisa's saying we could put the birthday year on the balloon. That would be cute. I would love to do that for my grandkids. They would get a kick out of that. Okay, so now Mr. Dancy, he's all inked up here. And I'm gonna stamp him down at the bottom. And because he's kicking up his heels, it doesn't even matter if you stamp him crooked, because he's dancing. So it doesn't matter if he's crooked. But it does matter if you shook the stamp and made a halo. So you know what? Now you get to know how to fix it. So I guess what I'm gonna do, because I wobbled and really made him bad, is I'm gonna stamp him on another piece of scrap, and I'm going to cut him out with my scissors, and then I'm going to glue him over the top of this awful one. So just pretend that didn't happen, okay, guys? Oh my gosh. So if you've been watching my videos, you know that I'm blind as a bat to begin with. And so here's my happy birthday. And that's included in the Party Pandas stamp set, by the way. You get the happy birthday, the hi, and the love you. So you could even put the hi or the love you in your balloon. But anyways, so here I am, I'm blind. I can't see far away. I have no distance vision at all. But I can't stamp up close with my glasses on. So I'm stamping blind here. It's really kind of funny. So now I'm going to come in with my markers again, and I'm going to color right directly on my stamp with my markers in the coordinating colors from the designer paper. So I'm going to color in that and color in my little star here. And then to just moisten it, I'm going to huff. And then I can stamp my confetti. So my little dancing bear here, he's throwing confetti in the air. And he's dancing so fast that he's blurry. That's why he's blurry, because he's dancing so fast. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so then I'm going to come in and I'm going to color with the same markers his little party hat. And you're going to pretend he's not blurry. And when I'm done, I'm going to just color and cut another one exactly like it and glue it over it so no one's going to know that I messed up. And so here's my card. I'm all done. That's it. So here's our card. And here's that's the envelope for the other one. Where did he go? I just had him. Oh, he's the one that's over here. So here's the one that I did originally, and here's the one that we just did together, except we took it up a notch, and now we can put him in his envelope, take the flap, and have an enclosure. And then I'll probably just get some white thread, or white twine, and curl it around there and just have it come down off of here. Wouldn't that be cute? Look at that. So anyways, that's our card for today. Isn't that cute? So those are our cards for this series. We have the Panda note cards. And then we have the gift cards from Tuesday. And then last week we did the Valentine. So that's my Party Pandas Live at 5 class series. Next week, we're going to start with a whole new collection. So I hope you will tune in on Tuesday for my next Live at 5. Live at 5 card classes are going to be held right here on my Facebook channel on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope you enjoyed today's classes. If you love the narrow note cards as much as I do, you might be interested in my latest card class to go. And that features the Petal Palette stamp set. It's a box of cards, and the box is using the Lots to Love box framelits dies that we used to create the envelope today. And it's this super fun little box with a belly band. And then they are inside. There's 4 individual note cards and 4 stamped envelopes. And that's a card class to go. There's 3 different options for that class to go. You can order it. Option 1 contains the clear mount stamp set and all of the materials to complete the projects. Option 2 has the wood mount stamp set and all of the materials to complete the projects. And then the third option, and this is all on my Facebook page as well as my blog. The third option is just to place an order in my online store, and when your order reaches $75 or more and you use the exclusive host code, which again is on my Facebook page as well as on my blog, I will send you all of the materials to create your box of cards for free by mail. So again, that's the box and the 4 note cards and the 4 envelopes. And that will arrive to your door free with your qualifying order. And you will need, to complete the cards, you will need the stamp set if you don't purchase option 1 or option 2. And this is the Petal Palette stamp set that's in our occasions catalog. So if you already have the stamp set, you could just place the qualifying order and receive your box of cards supplies for free. And if you do not have the Petal Palette stamp set, you really have to get it because it's a fabulous stamp set. I just love it. Maybe that'll be our Live at 5 series next week. I don't know. What do you think? Cast it a vote. All right, so thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to sign off. I hope you've enjoyed our pandas, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to stamp with you again soon. Bye now.